All righty. And hello, everyone. So today I am talking to Miss A.A.Lewis and some of the authors that is joining the Black Readers Appreciation event that will be happening November the 1st through November the 5th. Now, I have Miss Chelly P, Miss K Renee, author Untamed, and Phoenix Ash will be joining us as well. I'm going to ask some questions, get in their business a little bit because you know how I like to do. I'm a little nosy. I like to know what's going on. And then that way we can talk about this appreciation event because I'm excited that you brought it back. I can't wait to see all these books. My Kindle is probably like, girl, you need to read what you got on there first, but I'm still going to add books. I don't even care. Now, if you don't know who I am, I'm Crystal from Books and Soul. I'm a book blogger. I try to say keep it to myself, but a future author. And I'm just excited to be here to talk to these lovely ladies and get to know more about them. And hopefully you follow them all. They become new authors to you. And I'm telling you, I've enjoyed their work. Now, I do have one that I have to read and about to download. I ain't even gonna do the free download. I'm downloading as soon as we hang up today. Okay, so I won't be like, dang, I'm only reading it because it's free. Nope, I gotta start. All right. So first, I'm gonna talk to A.A.Lewis, and let's just introduce yourself real quick. Tell us who you are.
Hey world, A.A.Lewis. I write ratchet drama. That's my lane. If you like books with a mature storyline, some drama and some sex, then I'm your girl. So that's what I write. And I'm also the creator of the Black Readers Appreciation event.
All right. So what made you decide to say, let's do this? Let me start an event where authors are giving us books for free, but also an introduction to authors. Like, what made you say, let's do
Yeah.
this?
Well, last year, so this is the second year that I'm doing it. So last year, we had just come off of there's National Indie Author Day, there's National Black Authors Day, there's National New Author to You Day. There's all these days around authors. So I had been celebrating myself really nicely that whole year. And we got to November 1st, which is National Authors Day. And I said, I don't want to celebrate myself anymore. I don't even know how, to promote that for me because I had done it so many times during the year. And I said, well, what if I just did something for the readers, right? I said, I'll give some free books away or something. And then I said, well, what if I got 10 other authors to do this with me? Because in my mind, I easily had 10 author friends who would mind participating. So I put a post on Facebook and I said, hey, this is what I'm thinking about doing. Anybody want to join me? And I went to sleep. And the next day I woke up and there were 50 authors who said, yeah, I want in. And I was like, what do you mean you want in? Because in my mind, I wasn't thinking big enough. I literally just thought 10 people might do it. And if I got 5, then, I was good.
Right.
But when I got to 50 people and then they said, hey, did you ask this person? Did you ask this person? And then it just kept escalating. And before I knew it, we were already close to maybe 70 people at this time. And I didn't, again, I didn't think big enough and didn't really know how I was going to pull this off. So we did it. It was amazing last year. I think at that time we had over 200 books and almost 150 authors. It surpassed anything that I thought my little idea would have become, which was fantastic because when I'm a numbers person, by trade. So I look at the numbers and to see that 80,000 people, over 80,000 people at that time had visited the link that we did, right? Out of
Wow.
that, over 80,000, over that, there were about 62,000-ish people who downloaded books. The average time that people spent on the site was like between 30 and 45 minutes.
It
Like,
was a
it
lot
was
of books.
amazing. And I was just like, oh my goodness, I did something really great for the community, right? And then I
Right.
heard the response from authors, like the success they were having because of the event. I heard from readers. I know that reading groups have been formed because of this. Um, Readers had come to know new to you authors, including
Right.
myself, like, and some other more successful established authors, some of their books have been like reinvigorated, so to speak, and they were seeing success behind that. So the event, while we are celebrating readers, it did a lot for the community. In my opinion, it was a positive moment where everybody had a chance to shine. We talk about gaining new readers and putting yourself out there. I had encouraged readers to take this opportunity to reintroduce themselves, reestablish their social media platforms, and kind of
Mm-hmm.
grow, because it's one thing for us to download books, right?
Right.
So we want those pages to be turned. We want you to read our stories. We want you to get to know us, through our creative genius. And that only happens if we kind of keep you engaged. So I saw a lot of that activity with authors who told me before, I don't like stepping out of my comfort zone. I don't want to do this. I don't like doing that. Now have embraced being an author and being social about it. And I hear the benefits of what happened last year, how it's carried over and created a whole new group of, followers for them. And let's say this, engaged readers, because it's
Right.
one thing to put a post up or to have a new release and it not really be supported the way we as authors hope that it would be. But we're seeing the success of that. And I was just like, all of that from just me not wanting to celebrate me, but really just wanting to give back to the readers that have been supporting us, the ones that show up to the book expos. They engage with us on our posts, they tell a friend to tell a friend about our books.
Yes.
I just wanted to give back, and I didn't think big enough of the possibility of what that would look like. And so here we are today.
I love it. So now I have a t-shirt for you because it's in my head and it won't get out until I tell you. So because you kept on saying I didn't think big.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Here's the second year. I thought big. Black Readers Appreciation Event.
I'm gonna go print that. In fact, I'm gonna have D go print that because we have the shirt printing equipment. Listen,
Yes, I thought big. Mm-hmm.
I will tell you something. I read a book, and for the life of me, I still can't think of the name of the book, but it was Hell Yes. Hell Yes is the book. And I read it, and it said, you either, everything that you do is a hell yes, or it should be a no. There's no in
Right.
between, because if you can wake up every day and say, hell yes, I'm going to do this, then it's part of your passion. You'll give 100% and you'll commit to it and you'll do it. When I thought about how am I going to do it this year, because I was just like, I don't know if I could top last year. Like, what do you do? I would just
Right.
let it be. And then people were like, are we doing it this year? And they were asking in February, March, June. I was like, it doesn't happen until November, people.
But that's
I
so
wish,
good.
I know, I love the excitement, but for me, I was just like, I was scared, because now I opened up the door. I was scared of the possibility of it being great again. So I have to be honest about that. Because, like, how do you
Right.
top something you didn't have expectations for? And now there's an expectation created around it. And I went to sleep. I woke up and I said, hell yes, I'm ready. We're going to do it. And that's going to be that. And this year, because I had to do some things differently, I did have to close, registration. I left it
Really?
open for almost a month. Yes, I left it open for, it started about a month ago. So registration was open. Let me tell you, there are 250 authors on this list. and I think I stopped counting at 200, but I'm pretty sure it's about 250 authors. The average number of books per author is 3. There's New York Times bestseller. There are USA Today bestsellers. There are Amazon bestsellers. There are, big names like K. Renee, who's joining. Like
Right.
when I tell you, the fear of the word no was not in me. And because I had said hell yes to this event, I knew no boundaries. So I was in everybody's inbox. I didn't care who you were. Listen, I shared this. I shared this because I was looking for cookbook authors. And even though I know they were going to say no, I was like, but you're going to give me a yes to one or the other. So there's 3 people I'm going to tell you. I dipped into Carla Hall, who is, on the Food Network. She Gray Mama, who be cooking and doing everything. Me and her assistant are now best friends. In my mind, we're best friends because her assistant said, she doesn't own the rights to her book because of, she's with so and so. And I was like, oh, I know. But what can we do? So I was like, can I get a quick interview? What can I do? And she was like, send me your flyer. Our flyer was in her story. I thanked her because that meant the world to me. That was a yes. And now whoever follows her may have seen that in their story.
Right.
Yeah, so that's 1. 2, Eric LaSalle just put out a book. Me and him are friends on TikTok, right? And he befriended me. I didn't ask to be his friend. I just made a simple comment and all, like Eric LaSalle from ER. And, so.
That's all I remember him as. That's my favorite show by him. Yes.
He's such a nice, nice person, nice human. Like, but I said, hey, I don't know if you're available, but this is what we got going on. And he replied, unfortunately he couldn't, but he was like, I'm up for an interview eventually. When I sit down from this press tour, I'll let you interview me. And I was like, shut up. Like, I had no boundaries. And the last one is going to make you laugh because I was like, Michelle Obama wrote a book. First Lady wrote a book. Let me dip into one of her inboxes. And now the FBI know me. So I'm saying this to say, I knew no bounds of asking, even if I know I was going to be told no. I felt it was important that people who, are signed to the bigger companies, the 5 major publishing houses, like they know what we're doing on a smaller scale. And even if you tell me no, I'm okay if you share the flyer. I'm okay if you mention it. But I wanted you to be aware of this movement that we're creating, this positive movement for authors, Black authors. And, you can be a part of it in other ways. So I was just like, if it's a hell yes, I have to go for it. I have to ask everybody.
You definitely do.
And for the most part, aside from those no's, everybody said yes. And that was the exciting part. The hard part now was the work and promoting and making sure everybody knows about this event.
Yes. And I think the interview process is good too, because then now we're putting faces with the authors and getting to, know about them a little bit more. So I definitely love this. So now I think I've changed the name of the shirt. It shouldn't just say I thought big. I really thought big. Like I really thought big, because like I said, I really appreciate this. I liked it. I downloaded books last year because I got mail. Please tell me that are you putting Miss Veronica back on there again this year?
I am not putting Veronica. I don't want to see Veronica. The fact that she's even behind me as I look closer, I did not want to see Veronica. I am putting Giving My All to You on there.
Okay.
I'm doing The Dark Side of Light.
Okay, I have that. Yes.
I'm doing The Dom. And so I'm doing that one. Yeah, and in fact, this is the funny part. My books are the only books that were not uploaded to the link. I was like, oh yeah, I got to upload my stuff.
Yes,
so
definitely.
I have been so focused on making sure I got it right for everybody else. I completely forgot to include myself. But Yeah, but I mean, there's so I thought with the book selection, it gives you a good look at the type of writer that I am. My
Yes.
storytelling skills, and because my claim to fame is Sophista Ratchet, you get to see it in various ways as
And
it
you
plays
are
out throughout the book.
definitely Sophista Ratchet. You're definitely Sophista Ratchet. You got that down packed.
I live in that
Especially
lane of
with that
chaos.
Veronica. Ooh.
But I will tell you, I mean, it's exclusive for you. Her son does have a book coming out. It'll be available at the end of January. So we wanted to know who the baby daddy was. If you read the book last year and you want to know who the baby daddy
that was
is,
the question. Who that
I'm
baby
telling y'all
pappy?
who the pappy is in January. So look
I
for
can't
that.
wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. Well, thank you. So
You're welcome.
next, this is a new to me author. So I'm excited to talk to you and ask you questions. Miss Chelly P, introduce yourself.
Hello. My name is Chelly P. I am a Los Angeles-based author.
Okay.
Let me just saying, I was like a die-hard reader before 2021. I finally took the leap to become an author. Like when I say I was a reader, fun fact: I used to work at See's Candy. We have our drawers. We have notebooks that we're supposed to take notes. My drawers was full of books and notepads that I would be writing my own stories.
Yes.
And my boss would be like, Michelle, we go through this every day. Like, you're dropping calls. Like, who drops calls? Me, because I would have the book open. Like, So I have been a reader since I was in junior high school. Like,
Yes.
I was sneaking to read books. I babysat my little cousin just so I could go to my auntie house to read books because they had a bookshelf with so many Black authors, Nikki Turner, Wahida Clark, like, all of them.
Yes.
So I've been reading since junior high school. High school, I was in creative writing. I was in journalism. I was over the newspaper. So that's what I did. I used to go to Lamert Park to do the spoken word, like to do poetry. I would get on,
Oh.
I'm a kid on the stage, in front of adults reading poems. So I started out writing poems. And then, got into journalism and creative writing, started writing short stories. Then it's like 2021, let me try this. I've been writing stories. Let me finish one. And my publisher gave me a title and I wrote a book, my first book based off that title.
Ooh.
So,
What genre are you in?
I'm urban fiction, but I would say like hood love because, I'm
Them hood niggas need love too.
yeah, I'm from the hood. That's what I see, So it's like
They sometimes give good love too.
they do. They
Some,
do. So
sometimes they give good love. It can be a little hoodish, a little ratchet sometimes, but they do give it. So I love that. I love that.
and I've experienced it. So it's like I wanted,
Ooh.
to write what I've experienced, some of the stuff that I've seen, some of the stuff that so that's what my books are. It's like I don't just write, just to be writing.
I love that. So what made you decide to say I want to join the Black Readers Appreciation event?
A.A.Lewis.
Oh, isn't she so sweet? It's like you can't tell her no.
And I have to say, she mentioned her book. And let me just say, the book that she gonna be having on there, I mean, I told her about this Yvette that she gonna have on there. I don't like Yvette. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She's good for making you not like characters because them men.
Listen, I already told
men.
her hang with, I can't fool with. So
that's what I'm talking
about. She just owned me as a friend. Like I'm not that character.
Them books will do that to you, right? Untamed.
That's her people.
I won't disown you. I won't disown you, but I'm waiting for books. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's her people.
Yeah.
No, but I seen she posted it, so her name is on it, so I had to join it. So that's why I did it.
I love that. Now you're putting your books on there. I know everybody. I'm gonna just say this. Everybody that is on here, you are to download all their books. Okay. I don't care. Download them. read them, take your time. You will definitely enjoy them. But still kind of like got to play devil's advocate. What book that you're posting that you want people to definitely read the most?
So I only put my first book on there, which is Hood.
Okay.
I was like, should I put both? But I only put the first one on there.
Smart. That's smart.
Yeah, it was a strategy. It was a strategy.
Yes.
Like they, you know. So I mean, like I put Hood Love. And it's crazy because my second book is more near and dear to me. But it was like, I'm gonna put that first one on there because I want y'all to go, read that second book afterwards. But I mean, my first book, what can I say? My first book really stems around where I grew up. Like people that read my book that's from my city, they was like, Michelle, like, really, this how you doing this? So it's like I use the streets that I grew up on. I use the area, so it's like when people read it, they like, Michelle, I could visualize every, monument basically to us that you put in this book. Like I read this book and I felt like I was in that location that you were talking about.
I'm big on that. So that is me as a reader. I'm real big on that. Like if you put in a location that I've been and you miss one little thing, I'm like, because any author who writes a book about Washington, D.C., I'm reading. Now, a lot of them, like some people that's from Washington, D.C. and write their books, I can tell they are because they'll talk about go-go. They'll talk about certain areas. And then certain people, they'll put it in and I'll be like, you're not from here, but you did good. You did good. So I'm big on that. So like I said, with me, because I don't remember everything so well, I said, forget that. I'm going to just start my own world. So y'all won't be coming to me saying, oh, that's wrong. No, it ain't wrong because you ain't never been here before. So, I like that you making sure that people can actually gravitate and feel and know this is where I'm from. And not even that, you're also opening up an opportunity for people in your area that might be thinking about writing and saying, she did it, I'm going to do it too. So that's a good thing. That's definitely a good thing.
I've had some people come to me and I tell them, I said, I'm still new to this. Like, so I'm still learning. I'm still doing my research. Like, I can't really tell you a lot to do,
Right.
So it's, I have many and I'll be like, girl, this, like I recently just submitted my third book to my publisher.
Oh, congratulations.
So I just be like, girl, I can't, I'm only 2 books in. Like, I'm new to this. So, I don't know nothing. And so like this year I put together a book event and, in my city, and I had 2 local authors and 2 out-of-state authors and a couple of vendors. And they were like, when you doing another one? I was like, next year. They were like, why we gotta wait a whole year? I said, y'all want another one in the same year?
That is so nice.
They like, yeah. I'm like, no, I got y'all next year.
Are you like in the Cali area?
Yes, I'm in Los Angeles. I am from South Central.
Okay.
So yeah. So like for instance, out here I grew up on 84th in Normandy. Well, between Normandy
I've heard
and
of
Vermont.
that. I've heard of that.
We have local ice cream shop. Well, ice cream parlor. The ice cream parlor been there since I was a kid. Like I used to go to them and be like, start a tab, call my daddy. He gonna pay it, And so, like, in my book, I put that. And people like, really, Michelle, you gonna put the ice cream parlor? Yeah. I mean,
it's your book.
They don't go to that ice cream parlor. So,
I definitely like that. And Untamed can attest to this. Like I said, I did make my own world. I put things in there that are my favorite. So, like, I do have an ice cream shop. I have a yoga studio. I'm into plants. So I did like a plant store. Like I did so many different things that I'm into, and it keeps on getting bigger. It just won't stop. And it's ridiculous. I'm in 3 cities, a county. It just keeps on growing and growing. So, I definitely like that. But you put a staple in your book, in your area. So I definitely like that. And tell them that you need to use their space to have your next event.
They not big enough.
Oh, see, you thinking big too.
It's the ice cream parlor, and it's like, they got the window, and
right,
the parking spot, so they will not be big enough I mean, unless I'm shutting down the street, but they would not be big enough.
I'm on here with people who thinking big. That's what I'm talking about. I'm here for this. I'm here for this.
Like
All right.
this year for my event that I did this year, I actually hosted it across the street from the Crenshaw Mall. I mean, everybody call it the Baldwin Hills now. In my mind, it's the Crenshaw Mall. That's what it's been, and that's what it'll always be. So
But
that's where my event was, because that's like, Baldwin Hills, Nipsey Hussle. That's what it
right.
relates to. So that's where my event that I recently posted this Royal Health this year was, hosted at.
So can I just ask a question? This kind of off subject, but I got to ask. So is Baldwin Hills still more of this or this?
Look, California, period, is getting a little this.
Got you.
I'm in what's considered the hood, of course. I'm right next to the east, the east side, Compton, and it's getting gentrified, basically.
Okay. Yes,
So
yes.
you got them out here walking their cats on leashes,
Cat?
Yes.
Yeah, they doing DC like that, and they try to get rid of go-go. Like, what? You will never get rid of go-go. Never.
No, we have like Inglewood. We got the stadium now, so
right.
we have a staples in Inglewood that they are trying to take away, to make space for other stuff. And it's like, you can't get rid of that.
Right? Don't do that. Oh no. Yeah. Well, I'm excited. Like you said, you have your book on. AA, I definitely cannot wait to see what the stats are after this event is over with compared to last year. Because I know you did share with us last year, so I can't wait to see what the stats are going to be this year.
I'm going to share this with you real quick. So the site itself has every day it's between 5,000 and 10,000 people looking. Now it's only 250 authors. I'm like, who is on this site already? The link is not up, people.
Oh wow!
That's any indication. When I sent the first newsletter out, I didn't know how, because I've incorporated some newness to the event. I was like, let me get a little bit more organized. Let's do a newsletter, blah, blah, blah. I didn't know where to find the subscribers. And so I had to call the network, and I was like, hey, so where do I find the subscribers at? And he was like, oh, here you go. Here's your 750 people. And I was like, stop. Like, who? Why, people? But again, I didn't think big enough in that area, or else I would have been more engaged with them. I thought, okay, maybe it's 25, 100 people at max. No, it's 750 people that are waiting for our greatness, our creativity to be unleashed next week. So I was like, let me start engaging. So yeah, so any indication of the growth that could happen, it's there. So I'm looking forward to it.
I'm excited. Okay, so next we're gonna talk to Miss Phoenix Ash. I had the pleasure of meeting her at the Be Love first event. Like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in a month of Sundays. You know how they always say. So I'm so glad to see you on here. I get to talk to you. I can always slide in your DM, but just to see your face and get to talk to you. So, how have you been?
I'm good. Life been lifing, but good.
Yes.
A lot of transition in my life since then, but
yes.
I'm a Brooklyn girl, so I do what I gotta do.
That's what I'm talking about. I can still hear it. I can hear it.
Yes.
I can definitely hear it. Yeah. So, tell the audience about yourself if you're new to them, because you're not new to me, but if you're new to some of them, go ahead and tell them about yourself.
I'm Phoenix Ash. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, born and bred. I always tell people I'm so Brooklyn. I graduated from Brooklyn College. I would say I'm still a new author. I've been writing for a couple of years, but writing has always been an escape for me. I had a really tough childhood, and writing was kind of like how I buried the ashes. And I actually started writing poems, very similar to Chelly. But then eventually, because I'm a Brooklyn girl who grew up in the 80s, I became a rapper. And so I rapped for a long, long time. And then I started writing stories. And, because I grew up and had to get a regular job. And so I was writing stories on the side. And I actually went to school because I wanted to learn how to write, the next great novel. But when I was there, and this is for my master's, my bachelor's is in English, but when I went for my master's, I fell in love with screenwriting. So my degree is actually in screenwriting, and then I took that and said, now I'm going to apply it to books. So that's my style of writing. My style is very cinematic. When you read it, you definitely feel like you can watch this happening in front of you.
I can definitely attest to that. Definitely attest to that. I've read some of your work and definitely love it. So can you tell the audience what genre you're in?
I'm all over the place. So that is because it's a sample of my mind, and my mind,
right.
I don't stay in one place. I'm all over the place. So I write some urban fiction, I write some urban romance, it's slightly erotic. I definitely am digging into the drama everywhere. It is, I would say, kind of mature in the fact that some of the subject matter that I touch on is really I touch on when your mother becomes a mute and past relationships and, that ain't really my daddy. So I'm all over the place, but definitely very dramatic. Drama and romance seems to be where I hone my skills at.
I love the fact that we do get some drama because it's sometimes when I'm reading, I feel like I'm watching the stories, because I grew up watching the stories when I had to get my little nappy head done. Mom used to put the tape in. She recorded the shows for the whole week and she sit me down and I get my head done. I watch the stories. So I love that. That's how I look at reading. I look at it as if I'm watching the stories. I have to see it unfold in front of me. And if I'm reading and I don't see what's happening, I'd be like, yeah, let me put this down and go find something else. And that's what I love about reading. Chelly, like you said earlier, you're an avid reader. You turned into a writer. That's me. I've been reading forever and I love it. I'm a type of person, I have a book on my tablet, I have a book on my phone, different books, and then I'll have a book through Book Funnel. And now I got into audio, thanks to Miss Untamed here. I gotta listen. And I gotta read and listen because I gotta see the words. I gotta do them both at the same time. I'm gonna wear that shirt tomorrow when we do interview Miss Renee so y'all can see it, because I had to reach out to Miss Nicole Falls to create me one. Now, Phoenix, your books you're putting on, I know you're gonna put one. How many are you gonna give us?
I want to say I registered 4.
Okay.
I want to say it's 4.
Okay.
The first novel that I ever wrote is In Her Makeup. That's definitely on there. That's full of drama.
Yes.
And I have Touch Me First on there, which was the first book that I wrote that entered the charts at #1. So that's my little somebody knows me and wants to read my book. So
that was that moment. Got you.
Yeah. So that's on there. And it's a lot of firsts. My first romance book, Delectable, A Sweet Romance, is going to be on there.
That was so good.
And you know what? Delectable is my joint because there's a bake shop that it centers around, right?
Yes.
And I have people who lived near me who was like, yo, put me on. Where is this place? And I was like, it don't exist. I made it up. Now, mind you, I can't bake for nothing. So the stuff that I was putting together was really just stuff that I was pulling out my mind, and I was doing a lot of research online to see if these flavors go together. And creating I created a menu and everything. So that's my joint. That's going to be on there.
And they were grown. They were grown. That's what I loved about it. They were a grown couple. Not saying that you guys don't do grown couples, but when I say grown, I mean like over 35 grown. I love couples like that, you know, because I'm over
I try
35.
to stay older. Yeah, right. And so am I. And so I just try to stay with what I know.
Right.
And Savage Fever is actually the whole series of Savage Fever. So the whole series is in one book now, and that is going to be for free as part of the event. So you can read a whole series.
Yes, because that's a huge series. Now, I asked Chelly this, out of the books that you posted, what is the book that you want readers to read the most? We want them to read them all. So don't just be listening to me saying read the most, you guys. Read every last one of them.
I think there's actually two for me.
Okay.
In Her Makeup, I definitely want people to read because I feel like there were so many things touched upon from, you know, I'm big on backstory. So, and I give you full pieces of backstory. So I feel like In Her Makeup touches the mother's story, the grandmother's story, the daughter's story. And it shows you just how the family dynamic works and how your story affects your children's story. So I definitely want that to be read. And Savage Fever, of course, is my pride and joy, primarily because it's originally, I created it as a television series when I was in school. And so the series that's out now is actually season 1.
Right.
And so I have, you know, I outlined like 4 seasons. Well, now it's 5. But so like there's so much to come. And I feel like Savage Fever shows the maturity in my writing. Like, you know, when I first released and, you know, starting to pay attention to who's editing my book and who's copywriting, you know, and all that stuff, copy editing. So Savage Fever, and I think Savage Fever is so exciting. It's like watching TV. It's like watching Power or something. Like it's just so like, what's happening?
And now that you just said that they're all in one book, I'm gonna go ahead and then you're working on season 2. Because I'm a type of person, I like to go from one book to the next. You know, I'd be mad that I gotta wait.
I know, and let me tell you,
I was waiting for Untamed to turn her head.
I know, because I will have you waiting. If anybody listens to my podcast, I have a podcast called Life is P, and it's on Spotify, it's on Apple, iHeartRadio, and if you listen to it, you always know what's going on in my life while you're not getting booked. And it's like, look, I'm going through divorce. Look, I'm I relocated. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. So I constantly keep people updated to let you know, like, I'm not just not writing. And sometimes, you know, it's trying to figure out how to put writing back in my life in the way that it's supposed to be, rather than, you know, the way that it's drained. Like, I don't want it to drain me. I want to be able to give and keep giving. So on my podcast, I tell people about that. I know I will have people waiting. However, usually when I release, you get several. You'll be like,
that is true. I can attest to that.
Yeah, I have seven books that are partially written right now. So
wow.
When I start releasing, I'm going release, and everybody will be happy, hopefully.
I understand that. I'm excited for it. I'm definitely, like I said, the first, I'm gonna be on there the first, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth. I'm be there every day, because then I be forgetting. Crystal, you know you at work, right? But if it's about a book, I don't care. I be mad when I gotta talk to somebody and help them out, and they be like, you know you're at work. But yeah, when it comes to a book, I ain't got time for it.
And I have plans to download too. Like I
love that. Thank you for saying that.
Be there. Oh, he's gonna be okay. I have plans to download too. I'm a fan, just like everybody else is a fan, and you know, other writers inspire me. I used to be someone who couldn't read while I was writing, because I was just too afraid of what elements was going to creep into my writing.
I say the same thing.
Right. But then I realized the element that matters most is me. So I'm always going to creep into my writing. Every book that I've written has a piece of my story in it, because that is still where I bury the ashes at. So I get really excited when I see that authors are participating in stuff like this, because I'm like, oh, I get to read. I get to dream. And when I get to read and dream, it makes me say, she finished her book. So now I got to finish my book. I got, I got to finish my book because I'm excited that
Right.
this author got to the end. And because it's so hard sometimes to get to the end. So I'm excited to say, you got to the end. So now I'm inspired to run my race and get to the end as well. So I just love downloading all the books, and I try to leave as many reviews as I possibly can. But I'm excited.
I really am. I'm like, yeah, definitely excited for this. Okay, so up next, we are here with Miss K. Renee. How are you today?
You off mute. I'm great. How are you? How you
I'm
guys
great. I'm
doing?
great. I'm
Hi,
great.
ladies.
So tell the audience about you.
Oh, um. Well, as you know, I'm Kay Renee. I'm a publisher of K Renee Publications. I've been writing since 2017.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, and a lot of people were like, "What? Really?" Yeah, it just kind of took off. I was a reader for many years, and as many teenage years, in my teenage years I started reading. um let's see, I do a lot. I am the founder of the Literary Gem Awards.
Mm-hmm.
uh yeah, we're
Yes.
coming up on our second year.
Oh,
um
okay.
the first year which was this year, which was, I think, an amazing event.
Nothing short of Black excellence.
I was
Yeah.
about to say, I mean, I heard nothing but great things about it. And you're saying only 1 year. I'm not even going to lie. I thought this was probably like maybe your third or fourth year, to be honest. That's how,
um
just seeing pictures.
How it came off. Yeah. Well, let me say
Yes.
this. A lot of people, I like to when I like to operate in a business setting. So
Got you.
even, with my business, I run it as such. I have a
Right.
staff. And, even with planning the Literary Gem Awards, AA will tell you it is something behind the scenes. It's something.
I can
So
only imagine.
um we put a lot into it, a lot of thought. I'm the vice president of the Axel Adams Foundation in right outside of in Augusta, Georgia, outside of Augusta in South Carolina, actually. And we give away scholarships every year. And so just going through the planning of that kind of led me into planning the Gem Awards, because I already knew what I was doing. It was like I knew what I wanted out of it, because we plan the Axel Adams Foundation Gala every year. Um, I knew what kind of operation we had over there. We have celebrity guests come to that every year. And so I was like, well, wait, I kind of want that same atmosphere for the authors, because I didn't see it when we were,
Right.
in the industry, and I felt like they needed something. So why not? I'm always putting something together. It's something going on with K Renee. It's always something. The mind,
Yeah.
I think that mind of mine, it just goes constantly. And then once I think of it, I say, okay, well, I'm not going to rest until we do it.
It's done. So
Yeah.
let me ask you a quick question, because I think you had 1 year, was it last year? You had 2 events in 1 year?
I had a lot. So,
Okay. I remember seeing two, and I was
yeah,
like, dang, how'd she do that?
the K Renee. So we did the K Renee experience. I'm going to tell you how that started. So it started off with, I was going to do it just for the K Renee publication authors. And then I said, you
Right.
know what? Some of the authors couldn't make it, and that's fine, So I said, well, you know what? I'm going to open it up. And all the cities that we had planned to go to, we kept it. So I think we did
Yes.
about maybe 3 to 4 cities. Closed out in Miami. And I started joining other events, which was
Mm-hmm.
what you're supposed to do, go out and support
Right.
other events. So I think from March of 22 until I believe October of 22, we were on the road month to month, going from the K Renee
Wow.
experiences to other book events. Yeah.
Oh,
So I did
wow.
about maybe 4 of my
Yeah,
own.
but I remember seeing 2. I did remember seeing 2, but it was 4. Yeah, you good, because I probably would have been struggling with 1. Now I ain't gonna sit here and lie. I've been to a lot. I feel like last year, every other month, I was somewhere at a book event. My pockets was like, you need to stay home, because it's ridiculous how much I spend on books. My daughter told me when I put my bookshelf together, she was not helping, and I told her she couldn't because she ain't gonna do it right.
Let me just say this. Miss K. Renee is being so modest, y'all. And I love that about her. I do. I love that about her. But what she does for the reading and writing community is on a whole nother level. It truly is. And if you have not been to the Gem Awards last year or didn't see it on TV, let me say that again, on TV, you need to plan on being there next year, because along with her and so many other people that are in the event, we're the next generation,
right,
that we need to step up. And the fact that there's so much talent and knowledge on the business side, on the creative side, in this group, on that page, those 250 maybe plus authors, so much positivity happening, and K. Renee is part of that movement. So I'm not just gonna let you sit here and be modest. Like I love that, but like, lady, if you don't tell the world what you be out here doing in these literary streets, we're gonna have issues. But
yeah, I definitely see it.
We just came back.
They just came back from London. She had.
I was about to say, I remember when you put it out last year.
So I'm like, the movement, the forward progress that her and her team are doing, like that is something huge to be celebrated, because it's opening up the doors for a lot of other things to happen for a lot of different people.
Right.
Yes. But how was London? I mean, that is on my list to go travel. I'm not doing it this year. I don't know. Now I got to figure out when I'm going to go to London. But how was London?
London was good. What I do, I'm going to say this. We did invite about 30 authors to go. Of course, life happens.
Right.
And so authors were pulling out left and right. And I was like, oh God, So, but it was a small event, and it was the best thing that probably could have happened, because
things happen for a reason.
Because and it wasn't, and I will say this, because it's London, going into a foreign country we don't know anything about. We don't know the readers that are going to show up. But what I will say is, not a lot of readers showed up, but their readers did show up. And those readers that showed up showed out, because they had time to go to each individual author, spend time with that author, and buy catalogs. And that's what I saw through that event. They didn't just buy one book. They didn't buy 2 books. They bought catalogs. Many series off the tables. One of the authors sold out. One author said, I have not, this is the most amount of money I've made at a book event. Things like that.
Oh, wow.
I think I even sold I took 60 books. I sold like 40 something books. Wasn't expecting.
Then they definitely showed out.
Yeah. So it was just an overall great event. I just started. When I say I think of things, and I can't stop until it's completed. So yesterday or the day before, I think maybe 2 or 3 days ago, I will say, I'm going to start a book club, right?
Oh.
And I said to the book club, I said, now, before you come join my book club, know that we ain't going to sit still in just the book club on Facebook. We're going to travel. You're going to at least come to one K. Renee event. We're going to travel. We're going to do some stuff. So don't come in this room if you ain't going to participate. Now, I did all that. So we got about, I don't know, like 475 people in the book club.
In your book club?
That agreed to, they want to travel, they want to come. So whatever we're hosting, they're going to come. If we're hosting, and I say I do 2 big book events a year.
Right.
So if you can't come to both, just come to one.
Come to one. Yes.
So we're gonna show up and show out. So I got so half of them saying they're coming to New Orleans, half are going to Jamaica because we're doing the K Renee experience in Jamaica in 24.
When you doing it in 24?
It's October 24th through the 28th.
Okay. Well, only reason I asked because man, my daughter's every time I think about it, I want to cry. But my daughter's turning 30 next year, and we're going to Jamaica for her birthday.
Aww.
So people, I've had like 3 other people like, "Oh, you want to come to Jamaica with me?" And I was like, "If I don't go with her, she's gonna kill me." So I can't go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, can't go. But I mean, Jamaica's a good time. The men, oh Jesus, the men. Yeah, I love Jamaica. I've been before. I definitely love it. Definitely love it.
You guys don't come to anything else.
Come to Jamaica.
Gym Award. Well, I say Gym Awards. Gym
now,
Award is a
are you doing it in Houston this year, or are you doing it again in New Orleans?
Well, I'm going to do it again in New Orleans because it was just with Houston. It was everything was far and few between, and Houston's a great city to have an event in. It's just finding that particular or space, a pocket that we need to go to, and I think we got to actually go scout these places out before we start naming cities. And so that was a really mistake on my end because we should have scouted it out and then figured out where we're going. Because they were ready for Houston now, but they, a lot of people I couldn't believe it. A lot of people kept saying, I think we should go back to New Orleans.
I mean, New Orleans is a good time. Ooh, the men there too. And that baby. Oh, I love to hear all of them just say baby. Oh, it don't matter who it. I love it. Yeah, Houston. Yeah. I mean, New Orleans is a good time. Definitely.
Yeah. We're going to have a good time again. It's going to be, I try to do things. I say, well, we did it here this way, so we got to at least take it up a scale, a notch.
I mean, if you want to come to DC, let me know.
All right. Well, I'm right next door. I'm right next door to you. I'm in Delaware.
Oh, well, then you should come to DC. Yeah, look, bring it on down. Bring it on down. Come on down here. Come on. Yes, definitely.
I'm always in Philly, and I rep Philly because that's where we used to live, But,
Oh, yeah. I'll come to Philly for a K Renee experience.
Okay, now I'm going to be in your inbox trying to figure out where in Delaware because I just moved from Newcastle. So I'm like, wait, hold on.
Where were you in Newcastle?
I was in Newcastle for 13 years.
I live in Middletown.
Okay, I know exactly where you at. I just moved to Baltimore, so I'm
okay. So you're close to me.
Well,
I was just in Baltimore last night. I was just in Baltimore last night at the concert.
Okay, a friend of mine went. I'm in the county, but trust me, I'm here.
All right. So, K Renee, the books that you're putting on, one, how many are you going to give us? Because I'm saying giving us, how many are you going to give us?
I'm doing 3.
Okay. And out of the 3, go ahead and tell us what the 3 are.
Love by Billionaire. That's with the start of the Qassam family, which is a fan favorite.
Okay.
I'm going to do part 1 to After the Rain. After the Rain I chose that book series because that book was my biggest book.
Okay.
And I would say the Qassam family because you'll see people the fans talk about them so much and they want a repeat of that family so much. You would think that was the fan favorite, which they are.
Right.
But when you put out a book, like I put out After the Rain as a humbug. It was a birthday release. Nobody knew I was going to do it. I dropped it like I did a Beyonce drop, as they say.
I mean, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Right. And so the book came out. They loved it. I got a lot of people talking about it and were asking for part 2, of course, is what readers do,
Right.
So when part 2 came out, which was the following month, I remember manifesting that book. After I got it ready for, to put up on Amazon, I wrote down certain things that I wanted to happen with that release. I wanted low paid sales, low numbers, number 1. I wanted to hit a number 1. And I just, put my pen down after I wrote it all out and went to bed, put the book up and went to bed. So one thing that I've been blessed with in this writing journey of mine is that after my third book went number one, and every book thereafter
Have gone number
has
one.
been number one. Except for, recently I had a book. I split a series up. There are so many reasons why I split this series, but I did an exclusive book on the Carter Cartel, and it was on my website. But then so many people were loving it, but then they were having problems pulling it up on my website, and I got tired. I said, Lord, I can't do this. So part 2 of that series, I said, I'm gonna just put it on Amazon and let it do what it do. But now everybody loved it. They were like, wait a minute, this book, they can't get enough of it. So now they're coming back for that exclusive. It's just a whole thing. So, but with After the Rain, that book came out, it hit number one, but it did something that, from my understanding, I don't know how true this is, that they don't believe any other author in the urban industry has done. It went number 9 in the world.
Wow!
Number 9 in the ranking of paid sales, and so that book did some. I said, did it just scoot out Sister Soldier after she didn't release the book for 20 years? So that's kind of what it did.
I haven't read it yet, but they said it wasn't that good. But I don't listen to what the critics say. I wait. I don't listen to the critics.
But I was like, Lord, I can't. I don't like giving bad reviews. I don't even care if it's bad.
Me either. I can't do that. Yeah. If I feel like I got to give you less than a 3, I ain't leaving no review. I'm sorry. I'm gonna just slide in your DM and be like, I really didn't like this. Yeah. But I'm not because. Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
And authors, everybody doesn't like K. Renee. And that's just what it is. I'm just not everybody's cup of tea. And I understand that.
Right.
So I don't get all bent out of shape over it. Because when you read a K. Renee book, you're going to get drama. Probably going to get it from sentence 3, paragraph 1. It starts. I waste no time, and you're going to get a good laugh. That's what you're going to always get from me.
I love books that make me bust out laughing.
Yeah, you're going to always.
I love books like that. And can you tell us what genre you in? Because I know I missed that question with you.
Urban, for sure.
Urban. So, I started a book 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. 6 chapters in. Just the writing. The man flowing. The woman, I'm struggling. Got to the 6th chapter. I was like, this is some shit. I'm not writing this. I wouldn't dare put this out. Put it down and picked it up. Here it is 3 years later. And I was meeting with another author. She was like, well, what would you want to do with this? I said, can we have somebody kidnapped? Can we have, some guns up in it? Like, so I think I'm learning that I might have to be a little bit on the urban side because you're going to get a bunch of N-words in there. He a fine nigga, he a big black nigga, like all that. So, and then, I was thinking of romantic suspense, but, I feel like if I'm just shooting you and you saw me shoot you, that's not romantic suspense. Ain't no suspense. You know who did it.
Yeah.
So I'm like you said, Phoenix, I'm all over the place too. But my first book is erotic.
Yeah.
And my porn, I know they probably like this broad is nasty because how you do this? What is this? Can you tell me? Yeah, it's this. Yeah, some of the stuff I Googled, I'm like, I should be ashamed of myself. Thank God I don't have no little kids because they're like, Mom, you're embarrassing. Yes. Definitely. So I'm gonna ask you the same question. Out of the books that you're posting, what is the book that you would want the readers to read the most?
After the Rain, for sure.
All right, After the Rain.
For sure. After the Rain gives you a little bit of you've read books where there's like domestic abuse and
right,
always with the woman that's getting mistreated by the male character. Well, in After the Rain, it flips. My drug dealing plug is the one that's getting abused.
Now, do you really think somebody want to buy drugs from him and he getting his ass whooped?
Well,
that's what I'm gonna think.
Yeah. You're gonna want to buy drugs from him.
You know what? I take that back. Yeah, because if I ain't got all my money, I'm gonna smack them and walk away. So that's how I look at it.
It was such a great, and I guess that's why people, when they read part 1 of it,
Right.
they were rushing to me, trying to like, wait a minute, Heffa, where's part 2? Because why did you do this?
Yeah, why you do that? Oh, okay. Yeah,
It's
and
such
you
a
know,
good
I'm
book.
famous for sliding in folks' DM, be like, you know what? Really? So
Yeah.
I definitely
Yeah,
will
it's a good book.
definitely probably be sliding in there to say something about that. Thank you.
Love
All
by
right.
Billionaire, of course, is the overall fan favorite because I have a
Right.
gangster grandma, and you know, she just
Who doesn't love a gangster grandma? I mean, I grew up in DC. Most of the gangsters here are the grandmas.
yeah.
So,
She showed
you know,
Marley is one of the biggest fan favorites in the urban industry. They
okay.
always talking about her. So
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so we get in abuse. So
love,
Lord, y'all, please forgive me because I mean I'm not that evil to sit here and joke about somebody getting their ass beat. I mean, unless they deserve it, because I do say that unless they deserve it. But I don't condone abuse, domestic
nope.
abuse. I don't condone
Mm-mm.
that. But
But
you know,
sometimes this book goes to show you never know what's going on behind closed doors.
that is so true. And then you never know when you're on drugs what you're going to do too. So that's probably, you know, but I do love it. And a gangster grandma, I mean, a gangster grandma, that was it right there. I would just call her Gigi. Nothing else. You a gangster
Yeah.
grandma. I love it. I love that.
She's really cool. Cool grandma. Her favorite, she loves going to Chris Brown concerts.
I mean, do you see that man? He can sing. He look good. I mean, yeah, I don't blame her. I would be at Chris Brown's concerts too. Yeah, I would be there too in the front row.
Yeah. This is funny.
Definitely.
She's a funny character.
I love good characters. Okay, I'm excited about that. Now we have Miss Untamed. This is, let me tell y'all, me and Untamed, we go together real bad. We go together real bad. We talk every day. We text all day. We do podcasts together. Like we go together real bad. And I am not breaking up with her for nothing.
Oh,
At
I'm not
all.
breaking up with you either. I appreciate you.
We stuck together like glue.
Yes, we are. I
Yes.
appreciate you, Crystal. You know that you my
You know,
dear
I
heart. I say
appreciate
that
you
all the time.
Yes. Yes. Look, we appreciate each other. And I mean, like, the thing is, y'all, like, she be talking me off some ledges and all of that stuff because they're going into the writing stuff is something totally different. And my mind be going and it won't stop. It won't cut off. I just be like, shut up, you know, be having whole conversations and all that. But she's definitely a great sounding board. I have learned so much from her, like from the podcast, from, you know, publishing, just the business part, because I get to see a little bit of it, you know, the movie she does. So, you know, I get to see it all. And now I don't know how she get enough sleep.
I don't get enough.
Right.
Okay.
That
I'm
is
still
true.
trying to figure out how to get enough sleep. So.
That is true. So let the audience know who you are and what genre you write in.
Okay, so I am Untamed. I always say my writing is simply real, raw, and untamed, unfiltered. So, you know, and that is just basically what it always is about. It's relatable characters, real storylines. A little bit of my stuff is in a lot of my stories, you know. So I write from that perspective because I've always enjoyed stories that others can relate to and that I can relate to as well. You know, that is just by heart, by nature, who I am. I also, yes, and also, look, I guess I'll share the hats that I wear because a lot of times I'm really comfortable riding under the radar and being behind the scenes and doing a lot of things and just helping people through the back channels get to where we need to go.
Yep.
So but I am, and I say this because sometimes you have to stop and smell the roses, and not only that, just to let others know so that we can be a resource. Like being on platforms and things like this, I'm sitting here and I'm listening, and I got some things that I gotta network with AA with. After this was already in my head, but just being here with these ladies, learning Chelly and, knowing she's in the LA area and, with Phoenix, knowing she's a screenwriter now. I was over here taking notes and telling you, uh, and K
Yep.
Renee, I'm in Augusta, Georgia. She didn't know that, but I'm in Augusta, Georgia. And so when she said that, I was proud of
Really?
myself.
Are you? Wait a
Yes,
Mhm.
minute. My
yes.
hometown is like 5-10 minutes. I'm from Jackson, South Carolina.
Jackson, South Carolina. Oh my gosh, yes. I mean, I'm literally 15-minute drive from Carolina. I live close to North Augusta.
Yeah, girl.
So
I was just there for like 11 days bored. I could have called you.
you
She
sure
said
could have.
bored.
You sure could have called me.
My
So
grandmother
like,
passed away a few weeks. Well, about
Oh,
yep,
sorry
the
to hear
28th was
that.
a month ago, and when I got the call, thank you. When I got the call, I just jumped on the next flight home. And yeah, when she passed away, I just decided to stay and wait it out,
oh man.
But I came. That's when we had to, after the funeral services, I had to rush back home, and I left for London 2 days later. But yeah, I'm always in Augusta, always.
Okay. Well, listen. Well, you already know we got to link up.
Yep, we do. We
So
sure do.
it
Yep,
look
absolutely.
that's when I'm not over there in Dallas. So also I'm a screenwriter as well, a film producer. I'm often between Atlanta and Texas with movies, shooting films for movies, book to film. I do a lot with authors in that perspective. Also the event columnist for Intellectual Ink magazine. So I love doing that, working with Charlotte Fourier, Quan's wife, and Julia. She is amazing. I love her, love her, love her to pieces. And one thing that I rarely speak about, but I'll speak about it today because I just feel like this is just an open forum where we can, we're networking, we're connecting. I'm also the director of acquisitions for Black Odyssey Media, so which is a publishing company back owned by Shawanda Williams and Tice. So I love everything literary. And Krista, how you let me forget this? The owner and host of the Get Caught Up podcast with
I,
Crystal.
I was just gonna let you
It's
keep on
Kristen
going. That's why I
Stone.
said you wear so many hats. I was just gonna keep on letting you go. I'm like, wait a minute, you forgot something. Yeah, you can't forget
I was
that.
like with Kristen Stone, where the mission of that is summarily to AA, where I started because I way back, oh good lord, back in what, 2017? I think there was not a whole lot of places and spaces for Black authors where there wasn't charging an arm and a leg, where they can come on and basically build their resume and tell readers like who they are and this is their work. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna charge, like this is you come on and we'll interview you. And his grown, we do IG lives, we do, book of the month series now, we do narrator of the month now, highlighting different narrators. And I just remember it being on Anchor FM, only in the United States. And now we're like in 44 countries, 11 different platforms. I'm just excited. I have this year we hit a lot of milestones. Jacoby DM came on. He was like, he never does anything except for with his group. But he was like, I am going to do this interview. He said, because I just love you ladies so much. And he's like the all-time number one, still getting numbers on his podcast.
Yes.
Of course, everybody tuned in to listen to his dreamy voice. But it was, it's just a lot. And I just love everything literary. So this is why it is so important for me to like hop on. And when AA was like doing this, I'm like, yes, I want in, and I want in again. And I just love your efforts and everything that you're doing. All of you ladies, you guys do so much
Yes.
for the literary community, and it's just an honor and a blessing to be in the number. And Black women, we know we can hold it down, can't we? We can do some things. We can do some things, and that's what I love so much about it is our representation, because
Yes.
representation matters, and we do it, and we do it big, and we do it well. So I want to give all of you your flowers right now for everything that you do
Yes.
and continue to do. So yes, yes, yes. But me for Untamed brand, it is urban romance, urban fiction, and little crime fiction too. Uh, Untamed is out of the box, so hey, I'm kind of like Phineas Ash. I'm all over the place with that because I just
Yeah.
refuse to be locked in.
You already know what I'm gonna say. You Untamed right now because you know what I'm waiting for. I
I
know.
know,
I won't be quiet until I get it. I will not be
I
quiet until I get it.
know,
She didn't.
I
I'm gonna
know.
tell you this: if y'all have not picked up The View by Untamed, you don't know what you're missing. When I say I
Oh
text her every damn time I was reading something about that book, it turned into so many discussions. It didn't make any sense, and I can't stand Michael. I can't stand. I can't even think of her name.
Carly.
I can't stand Carly Mama, and I can't stand her
Right.
best friend, and I can't stand her best friend
Katrina.
Mama because she was stupid because she spelled Katrina with a C, and you don't ever supposed to spell Katrina with a C. So I don't like her mama
Listen,
or her best friend just because of that. I mean, that
listen.
book,
I stay
that
fighting for
book.
these characters because they keep me getting disowned. And I'm like,
Stop
listen, I have to
fighting,
try to
stop fighting,
redeem them
stop
because people
fighting
be
for
throwing me
Michael.
under the bus. Stop fighting for, listen, I done been Miss Running to call me a right now scallywag. I don't
Yes.
know. I said, I don't know if I should be honest or not, but that's the first time I ever felt some enjoyment by being called a scallywag. I was like, wow.
Scallywags can be good, and you definitely are right now, Scallywag, because I was not ready for that book. I wasn't ready. I'm just like, is she serious? It's like, Crystal, you got to go to bed. I mean, I sit here and literally say, okay, it's 2:00. I don't have to be at work till 12. I get up at 9, so I'm getting 7 hours of sleep. Like, I go through my head like that so I can justify me staying up later to read books.
Listen,
That's
the
just me.
DMs I get, I think, I don't know if I put it in that book. I might have, where I was like, listen, I'm not about to be responsible for your sleepless nights, your medical prescriptions, because I had so many people that DM me. It was like, I was up here reading. I'm like, I'm going to sleep in an hour, and I look up and it's the sun. Like, where's the sun
Yes.
coming from? I was like, listen,
Mhm.
don't blame me. Don't blame me for the
You
sun. You slow it
you got
down.
drama, you got lies, you got deceit. I mean, I wanna drag a bitch. Like that's how bad it
Yes,
was. Like
yes, like
it was bad, definitely.
that.
Okay, so how many books are you giving us?
Three.
All right,
I'm
so tell
giving
us
three.
about the three you giving us.
So the first two is The Contract and The Contract Two. It's a book that I actually co-wrote with author JC, who he is a beast. Like his street lit is off the chain, with his B series. And so he is also in Augusta, another local author here with me. He and I are really good friends. And so he said, I want to collaborate with you. And so we came up with this crime fiction series called Urban Crime Fiction with Camilla Meeks and Hosea Carter. She is basically, she runs Licks. He's a contract killer, and they have to team together on a contract. But the person who did it, he knows that they have history, but they don't know that he knows this. And so this is why he teamed them together to complete this job, but it's actually a setup. And they have to maneuver around this setup to actually survive and also determine if these recurring feelings is something that they're going to explore. So that is part one and part two of the contract two. And I actually put the view two for free. Now, the reason the view one isn't up there is because the view one is actually like, I'm a hybrid author, so that's under Urban Books, which is Carl's Weber, his actual company. So I couldn't put that one up because of that contractually. But I figured the View 2, that is a project that I took on my own for several different reasons. And one of the ones is because at the end of the View 1, everybody kept saying it's going to be a part 2, it's going to be a part 2. And I was like, I wasn't planning on it, but here you go. I'm going to give you guys a part 2. Now I'm sitting here with my hands tied behind my back because of this part 3 that Crystal is waiting on and a whole lot of other people.
I mean,
So,
waiting. I'm waiting like a hooker standing on the corner for her next John.
yeah.
That's how much I'm waiting.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, I gotta get to work, to get that one done. But I figure, part two, I could put this out here and you guys can pick up part one, get to the point of part two, and get ready for part three because I'm almost complete. And it'll be coming out in 2024. So
Thank God. Then I can leave you alone. Shelly, you had a question?
yes.
No, I would just go say, like, as an author, like, when the readers be like, oh, like, give me more, like, that is just like an amazing feeling.
Yes,
Oh,
Yeah,
it is.
like it's because, like, like when I used to be a reader, I used to like test read a lot, um, and I for a while I stopped doing reviews because I started getting inboxes from authors that were not happy with my reviews. It's like I gave you a 4, I gave you a 5, but I just said this or this or this, and they still didn't like it, even though the stars were amazing. It was
right.
like, you know,
Wow.
so for a while I stopped doing reviews, and like I then, like, when I did start doing reviews again, it'll be like blah blah. But like when I read A book, I read her book because we was in Ohio together. So I said I have to read something from her, because I see her everywhere. She does such amazing work in the literary world, even because she interviewed me for my event when I did it this year. So it was like that was our first one-on-one time. So
Right.
I read her book, and when I say, like, the review I gave, those are reviews that I used to give. Versus when I started back giving reviews, it'll be like, oh yeah, this book was good. Basically you should read it, like blah. But like I typed like a whole paragraph for her, and on Amazon, because it was just like she had me messed up, she had the shop messed up, she had us messed
All
up.
right.
So I had to let her know how she stressed us out. But no, when readers be like my first book, as a new author, I didn't think you know people would read it, and I was told people are not going to read it as much as you think because you're a new author. And for me, coming from where I'm from or whatever, coming, as being a reader, and it's like I don't be on authors posts like that, or I don't be in I stopped being on their posts and I stopped being in their inbox just because I started getting, like, I guess you could say, hate messages about my reviews. So it was like I backed off. But like when my book came out, when I say people say, "Oh, your family don't support you," that's where I got the most of my support was,
I hear a lot of people say that too.
like, from like my auntie and them was like, "You should do a book signing. This your first book." I'm like, "Ain't nobody gonna come." When I say I sat down at that table, and from the time it started to the time it ended, like, I had books, but they came with their own books that they ordered from Amazon. And it was just like, for me, like, when I say I cried,
I
like,
would
my
have cried too.
father's
Yeah.
a pastor, and I grew up, I seen a lot, I was around a lot. So my mom read my book. She was like, "You made me feel like I had to take my robe off and go back, to what I used to be." Like, she said, like, that's how I felt reading this book. Like, I was that person, that I used to be. And it's like, nah, I don't want you to be that person you used to be. Like, you
Don't do
say,
that on my account.
yeah, you say, stay there. So it was just like, for me, like, my mom reading my book, and it's like I know where she came from and where she is, in her life now. So it was like, for her to read my book, it was like, job well done. That's how I felt.
Yes.
So,
I
And
love
I'm
it.
with you on that.
so
See,
yes,
This is what I say. Well, like you said, everything is for a reason. Because I'm with Chelly. Like, I'm a PK too. And my dad was up there pushing my books from the pulpit, baby. I was like shocked. And I tell that story all the time. I was like, I always say, my source of, guidance is always from my aunt and my father. But my aunt is like, listen, I swear she's sitting next to the right hand of God. I don't know. She's just like that. She saved. Look, she saved and sanctified. The Holy Ghost filled. Okay, but she's also the person who I talk to the most. I can relate to the most because we're women.
Right.
When I was getting ready to put out, my first book under Untamed, I went to both of them and I had the same setup, and I said, Auntie, this book is going to be urban fiction, and I'm trying to explain it, in a very professional way. And she's like, what is it? What is it? What is it? And I finally just said, okay, she's gonna have some cussing and some sex in it. Okay, listen. She was like, okay. And I go to my dad second because he's the pastor, and I said, well, Dad, this book is urban fiction. Immediately, he said, oh, so it's gonna have some cussing and some sex. I knew I was your child.
He already know.
I knew it was your child. I don't need a DNA test. I knew I was your child.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, and he was just like, he goes to the pulpit. I came to visit. He lifted up the book, and he's like, this ain't no Christian book, but it's a real life book. And if you want to be honest, half of y'all ain't living right anyway. So pick up the book. Oh Lord.
He putting it out there for them. He putting it out there for them. So
he was all proud, and I had my church finger up, like, ooh, child, let me dip on that side.
So out of the books that you're putting up, what is the book that you would want everyone to read?
Definitely The View 2. And I say this because I just love that book so much. Like, that one was something that was very different for me, and I took a chance on it. And it became like very popular, probably the most popular one. Like, that series is the most popular. Like you said, nobody likes the characters, but everybody loves the book. I don't. That's the craziest part of me.
That
like,
damn Michael and that girl who can't spell her name right.
Let me take this back. Everybody loves Hudson. Everybody loves Hudson, but then for the most part, the rest of the characters nobody like. Hudson and the baby. So that's it.
I like Carly, but I need her to pick a lane and stay in it. Her indecisiveness is getting on my nerves, and I need her to figure it out. That's all. That is it. Okay, so I said that I was not going to keep y'all long, but it happened. But what I want to say is I'm going to give each of you guys just a real quick minute to give your social media hangers, your social media IDs, so everybody can find you, go follow you. And yeah, that's what I want them to do. I want them to go follow you. I want them to pick your books. I want them to read your books, because now I got some more books. I ain't even going through the list, and I already got y'all on my list. So it's going to be bad. I already know it's going to be bad. But all right, AA, where can they find you at?
I have one social media handle right now. It is www.BRAE.website. That's the only place I want y'all to go right now.
I love it.
And I'm going to say this. This is a great opportunity for you to find some new to you authors.
Yes.
But to also explore new genres. I know we have our favorites that are on that list, but it does not cost you one thing during these 5 days to do something different, because you never know what author is going to have you in your feelings, or, give you that little oomph in your reading that you've been missing, or what genre that you never thought you'd take a chance on, but you found out you're a fan of. www.BRAE.website. That's it.
Perfect. Thank you. All right, Chelly, where can we find you at?
I'm on Facebook and IG under author Chelly P. As well as on TikTok, Shell P, CHELLP 21, And then on Facebook is also my name, Michelle Ferguson, because I need to get into going to my author page.
Got you. All righty, Phoenix, what about you?
Phoenix Ash. My handle is at PWrites, PWRITES on IG. I am on TikTok under author Phoenix Ash. I'm on Facebook as Phoenix Ash. So I'm real consistent. I have a reader group on Facebook called Phoenix's Fireflies, and fire is spelled FIYAH. And I'm on Twitter, which is where I'm most active. Twitter is where like I talk every day, and sometimes I'm a little ratchet, a lot ratchet, a lot out of pocket. It just
I stay
it
off
is what
Twitter.
it is. I mean, I just gotta be my natural self. So on
Right.
Twitter, I am author Phoenix A. And you can, my DMs are typically open as long as you're not sending me parts of your body. So I love to talk about books.
People be doing that.
I love to talk about books, and and if anybody wants to listen to the podcast, they can find me on Life is P, which again is on Apple as well as Spotify and iHeartRadio. I believe it's also on Google Play.
All righty. And don't be sending her your body parts. Keep them to yourself. Okay, K. Renee, where can we find you at?
I am Karen Renee on Facebook and author K. Renee on IG.
All right, this light ain't letting me be great, so it's probably like, girl, leave me alone. All right, and Miss Untamed, where can we find you?
Okay, I am real consistent. I'm everywhere except for Twitter and Snapchat. So you can find me everywhere except for Twitter and Snapchat. I'm on Twitter, but I'm not there. I'm just gonna be honest. If you follow me on Twitter, I probably won't even find out till 6 months from now. But that's how less I am on Twitter. But definitely, most places I am is Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. But everywhere else except for those two platforms at Author Untamed. And also, please make sure that you do follow the Get Caught Up podcast. There's a Facebook group, the Get Caught Up author podcast, and we're on Instagram at Get Caught Up podcast. There, for all the readers, all the authors, join there, and that's where the magic for the interviews happens. So that's me.
Yes, and that magic be going real fast. Real fast. It just be like that, just like that. I can say she'll post that we are open for the interviews, and literally either hours later or a day later, my phone is going off for me to just hit yes to add people to my calendar so I can remember when we're recording. It's crazy. I've never it gets crazier every month, every time. Like we open it. So
yes. I think the last time it was literally like we opened it up for submissions and it closed in 4 hours.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. It is wow. But
I'm like, wait a minute. And I have to go back and look and like, maybe she sent this to me twice and it's a different person. So I really appreciate everybody who wants to sit and talk to us, want us all in your business. I really appreciate it. You guys don't need my book handle, my IG handle, because I'm about to post this on my IG. But I'm Crystal Books and Soul One. Mostly on there, nowhere else, because I'm busy doing other things in the background. But I just want to say, A.A.Lewis, thank you so much for putting this phenomenal event back on again. And I'm ready to see that shirt say, I really thought big. BRAE.
I will have that.
Get you a shirt because you really thought big, and I love that. It has been a pleasure speaking to all of you ladies tonight, getting in your business a little bit. Like I said, I'm about to get all y'all books. I think I have. Nope, some of these I have, so I won't be getting all them because I already have them. My to be read is out of control and is disrespectful because it keeps on growing. And I don't have time to read them all. I don't know, but I just can't stop buying books. Like I just said, I went out and bought a book today. It's ridiculous. But I just want everybody to follow these authors, go on the website that AA said, which is www.brae.website, and download these books and read these books and leave
November 1st
reviews.
through the 5th.
The 1st through the 5th of November, and leave reviews. Don't just be out here reading books and not leave reviews. And I'm gonna say that because I'm talking to myself, because I need to go post some reviews, because I be reading, and my reviews are in my phone. All I got to do is just copy and paste them and put them in there. But like once I finish one book, I'm ready to go to the next. I don't be having time to sit and leave no review. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie. Like I think I have like 5 books that oh yes, I have a book that I read in January. Ask me if the review is up. I'm wrong for it. But I'm gonna get it on there. But again, my throat is saying it's time for you to shut up. But excuse me. Thank you, ladies. And I wish you the best of luck